We're halfway through the quarterfinals of both the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. I have a couple of fears of how the rest of the tournament will be booked, even though I'm still hopeful that that won't happen. I'm just going to go through the matches that we saw on Raw before I get to my SmackDown predictions. First, I've been online, I'm seeing all the Jey Uso slander, and I've participated in some of it because some of this is Triple H's fault by edging the fans with that Dragunov and Gunther thing. I think anybody who they would have put over Dragunov would have gotten hella heat online. But Jey Uso, since the Mania match with Jimmy, has been ridiculed a lot. I just seen a tweet today from Drew McIntyre talking about Jey had to use more than two moves against him. That's some funny shit. So I'm guessing Jey is gonna acknowledge it at some point and try to incorporate more moves going forward. Please do not put Jey over Gunther unless you're gonna give him a title soon. I just don't understand not giving him the title against Damian if we're gonna go this route of like, will he, won't he get a title? It's I don't know. I really don't know what the plan is going forward for Jey. If we're just waiting for him to reunite with Jimmy, that's kind of a waste. I think everybody acknowledges that Jey is the biggest face on Raw. They have to they have to get something in order on that front. But I'll get to the other matches. Well, first, Dragunov versus Jey was cool. I didn't Nothing like popped out for me. I really loved Dragunov versus Ricochet last week, so maybe that is just clouding me and it's not allowing me to appreciate what they did in there a lot of the time. I'll try to rewatch it. Um, the other match was Kofi versus Gunther. It was pretty solid, but nothing is sticking out to me. I think I liked the match they had a couple of months ago better on Raw, and I really enjoyed Kofi and Xavier versus Imperium. That shit was a banger. I think it was like a street fight. Um, on the Queen of the Ring side of the things that we saw on Raw, it's looking like they're giving a big push to Lyra, and I did hear the crowd gave her more of a pop than Zoe or Shayna get usually on Raw, which is a good sign. Hopefully they'll give her some more mic time. Looks like she and Becky are gonna have some type of alliance. Maybe if Becky retains, she'll give Lyra a title shot. It's cool to see after Becky put her over last year in NXT. But the only thing that I'm not too crazy about with Lyra is her finishing move whenever it's a woman that's a bit like taller than her. It looks a bit awkward. I don't know how it usually maybe I'll have to watch more of her NXT matches, but this last one just didn't look very impactful as a finisher. But everything else I've been seeing from Lyra has been pretty good. And the other match for this was Io, and I fucking love Io, man. Like she's so amazing. Every match of hers I've fucked with very heavy. I see people complaining that her title reign, she didn't appear to be booked as well. I kind of put that on the fact that there was not a good feud storyline. Like a lot of it, Bailey or Dakota Kai kind of were the mouthpiece, obviously, but they didn't give her a lot of like promo set. The way they built up Io versus Bailey, and they gave Io those type of what was it like those vignettes. Those are very crucial with like people with the language barrier because the way she did that and the way I saw Shinsuke doing those same type of vignettes on Cody and on Sammy, that's enough to get people invested. I was invested in all those matches. So going forward, if they put a title back on Io, that needs to be the priority. I get Dakota for the live audience can help assist, but when you do it too much, it makes her seem like the feud is not as big. There's not a lot of hatred. But where the hell is Dijak and Braun Breaker, man? I don't understand breaking up the War Dogs if there's not going to be a direction for Braun and Corbin on SmackDown. I thought we were under the impression that trades were still going to happen after the draft. if y'all make any trade, please let that be the choice because from what I'm seeing, Dragunov is going to get that push first and probably end up in the IC title picture by the end of the year. I don't know where that's gonna leave Braun in this whole predicament. Like y'all didn't put him in the King of the Ring thing. Y'all gave him this big push of signing before the draft, and all he's doing is squash matches. I thought when Jade finally got a regular match, Braun needs one of these like very bad. Dijak, I don't know what the fuck they about to do with him. Maybe have one of them go against Bronson Reed. So maybe that's why they're pushing Bronson Reed into this triple threat match, which I don't even fucking agree with. Like y'all have Chad and Sammy going against each other on Raw next week, which we know is going to end in a Bronson Reed interference. We're here for the Chad and Sammy dynamic, so we can easily assume that Sammy's gonna pin Bronson in Saudi, and they're gonna fight again. I don't know, like next Clash of the Castle, maybe, or maybe the PLE after that. Who else is Sammy gonna feud with in between that we're going to get behind? I'm not fucking with. But Chad Gable getting all that heat from slapping Otis. We got Chad Gable chewing out Tozawa and Maxine. We got like he don't even need a mouthpiece. He can just be the mouthpiece. I saw the reports about Kurt Angle possibly returning to help, but I don't even think that would be necessary for what he's doing right now. A cameo would just be fine of him just passing the torch to Chad. Um, I still want him to get Alpha Academy and Ivy Nile under his wing after the Alpha Academy breakup happens. I think maybe like two more segments before Otis just snaps. Ooh, in between, if Chad does not win the IC title, he could just have a match with Otis. He goes over, and then he resumes the feud with Sammy. I think that could work. Rhea being hurt obviously is cooking the women's division on Raw, but the Judgment Day storylines are very lackluster for me right now because I'm not sure what the direction is going to be. I'm not too excited with waiting to see how it plays out. The only thing I know is going to have a good payoff is the Liv, Dom, and Rhea triangle. I was hoping that Finn would end up feuding with Damien at some point, but I don't see much rifts between them in the past 2 weeks. And now they have JD and Finn being the number one contenders for Awesome Truth. Like, why the fuck are we doing Judgment Day against Awesome Truth again? Why, bro? There's too many tag teams on the division to be doing this. Like, there's not even much payoff with it. And now we have Carlito. Why is Carlito like? I don't give a fuck about Carlito's little issue that he has with LWO and Ray, and it's gonna tie Dom to the shit again. Like, this shit's just not. It's not fun. It's not fun no more, bro. Please let Damien either drop that title to Drew or have him retain, then feud with Finn shortly after. We cannot keep pushing this shit down. Jay's hella over. Drew's gonna need that title for when Punk comes back. We can't keep doing this because if say he beats Drew in with interference, who else is he going to realistically go against as a feud on Raw that people are going to be excited about? Like, we need to put a stop to this, guys. This is not okay. I don't want to see this nigga going against. But ooh, actually, if Gunther wins King of the Ring, hmm, never mind, never mind. There's one, so never mind. Damien can retain and not feud with Finn for one person. Then I will let it. And I've been deep in these E Street trenches. If I'm looking at this bracket correctly and seeing the theories online, WWE, y'all better not fucking have Tama Tonga and Jey Uso in the King of the Ring final. I'm not gonna have it. I'm not having this shit. No, no, no. Have Randy Orton advance. Have Gunther go over. Do not do that shit though. Please, man. Please don't do that dumbass shit. Now the Queen of the Ring tournament, we already know Bianca and Jade are not going to face each other. And since Bianca had that little knee thing last week, I'm guessing Tiffany, who don't like black women anyways by the looks of it, she gonna fuck up Bianca's knee and she's going to face Jade during the final because I don't see her going against Nia when they've been cool. The heel versus heel thing for the final just doesn't make much sense. So then she'll go against Jade. Hmm. Ooh, okay, she goes against Jade. Nia gets revenge on Jade and helps Tiffany win. So I'm thinking Tiffany will advance for the SmackDown side on the Queen of the Ring, and then say Lyra or Io. I want Io to advance, but the way they're pushing Lyra, and yeah, the way they seem to be pushing Lyra, I'm gonna, I guess they want her to go, but I'm still just gonna be biased. I'm going with Io versus Tiffany in the Queen of the Ring final. It would be a disservice to the whole damage control with all that interference help for her not to advance too. Like, come on.